You know, I really didn't do a ton last couple weeks. I played a little bit of golf this past week. I needed a little bit of a break. I played 15 out of 18 weeks or something crazy. Somebody told me that number and I couldn't believe it. You know, it helps when you're playing well because it's definitely not as stressful and not as tiring, but try to hit the reset button a little bit and just kind of continue what I've been doing. Yeah, you know, of course it's hard not to think about it, but you know, the main thing is I want to keep playing as much as I can and keep building a rhythm. And you know, the only way I play the next 2 weeks is if I top 10. So of course, you know, you could sit there and think about 3 points and you know, oh, what do I have to do that? But the reality is, you know, I want to keep on plotting away and keep playing out here as much as I possibly can. So. You know, like I said, I mean, for me to play the next 2 weeks, I've got a top 10 this week and top 10 the week after. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've kept the same process of just trying to improve on each week of what I've been doing, and it's paid off. And so there's no reason to change or start thinking about little things like, you know, this finish or that finish or what this could do for me. I mean, every shot's the same, and you know, no shot matters more than the next one. Excuse me. So I got in here Sunday night, and the person who did my test missed the A in my first name. So I did not get my test until late last night. So it's very nice to get some vitamin D and be outside. So I've been stuck in my hotel room for the past 24 hours. Yeah, I know. It's gorgeous out, so I'm looking forward to it. Once we get done here, I'm going to head out this afternoon. Oh, yeah. Hey, KP. Yeah, of course. My first year out, I guess not this past year, but the year before, top 25ing, Monday qualifying. You know, where some guys, they might be in T28 and just kind of cruising along and going about their business, and meanwhile I'm grinding it out like I've got to win a golf tournament. So it's definitely a great experience, especially, you know, like this year on top of, you know, all the top 10s that I've had. I mean, I've had to grind out some, you know, to make all my cuts. I mean, I've made 4 on the number this year, so, and I had a birdie the last, I think, at least 3 times, and I can think off the top of my head, just to make the cut. So, you know, there's a lot of experience I draw, especially from the last 18 to 20 months, for sure, from the Korn Ferry Tour. I think it's more of the routine, trying to become a better professional, knowing what days I need to take off at certain times, and how to manage my energy, and, you know, never getting too high or too low. You know, it's a marathon out here, and, you know, I've played some crazy amount of tournaments since the restart in June. I think I've only had 3 or 4 weeks off, so learning how to manage my energy and, you know, basically not let things bother me as much, and at the same time don't get too overly excited when things go well. Yeah, he was back home. I think we had a week about overlap, where we overlapped, so we played some video games, did absolutely nothing for a couple days, and then we both kind of got back at it, and got back to our Merida grinds. So a lot of Madden. Oh, we're both terrible. I mean, we throw more picks than we do touchdowns. We're terrible. I'm Cowboys. He's the Saints. I'd say the second round in San Antonio. I was battling food poisoning the first day and shot 77, and I needed to put a good round together. That second day to make the cut, and ended up burning the last to shoot 67. Made the cut on the number, and I ended up shooting 12 under on the weekend and I think it was T62 going on the weekend and finished fifth. So. Those are weeks that honestly, I think that week I'm probably the most proud of, even more proud of than the win in Colorado. Yeah, I mean, special temporary status isn't the be-all, end-all. I mean, if you want that to be the end goal, then why don't you go ahead? I could sit here and think that I've got 8 or 9 events, basically. If you add in, maybe a few sponsors exemptions, and then the opposite field starts from the Corn Ferry Tour. So it's not the be-all, end-all. Like I said, I want to keep playing as much as possible. I know I'm playing good. So for me, just keep on doing what we're doing. Of course, I want to play the next 2 weeks, but I know I'll either have to Monday qualify or top 10. So, or between here or Houston and RSM, obviously, I'll either have to Monday or top 10. So, I want to play in my home state, especially. That's something that really would mean a lot to me to be able to get in and play there. So we'll see what happens. But obviously, just keep going about my business, and whatever it adds up to, it adds up to. Thanks, KP. Yeah, I learned a lot. I tried to come back too soon, especially that year, because I was trying to make that Walker Cup team as well. It hurt, obviously, not to play in my hometown PGA Tour event, especially just with how fun that atmosphere always is and having friends and family around me. So if anything, it really just kind of added motivation to get back there and to compete and play well. And I haven't played well the last 2 times I've been there. But I know that, the next chance I get, I'll make sure and take advantage of it. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty soul crushing to, be 18 and into PGA Tour event in your hometown. Was looking forward to it. And, obviously that's how things fall. But, I learned a lot from it, especially, I kind of did a little soul searching after all that and kind of realized, at the end of the day, it is just golf. It isn't the be all end all.
Stop.
Yeah, I don't. The only pressure I feel is the pressure I put on myself. I know that a lot of people are obviously picking me as favorites because I've been asked a lot of questions just like that, and hey, it's humbling. It's obviously really nice that people think highly of what I've been doing, and obviously I've been on the right track. So It doesn't really bother me, or this just fortunately I've been able to watch guys like Jordan Spieth and Scotty Scheffler go through the ranks, and been friends with those guys literally since we were 9 or 10. So I've seen them go through it, and I know how to handle it, and obviously it's fun. It's absolutely a lot of fun. It's a great position to be in. Yeah, it's just different. I think the biggest difference between the two tours is just the courses. I mean, the courses out here are definitely a little more challenging. The level of play, obviously, we had 10 guys playing the U.S. Open, and I think we had 3 or 4 guys make the cut. So, that just kind of shows you the level of play between the two tours. It takes, you see these guys that, had come from the Korn Ferry Tour and gone to the PGA Tour and been successful, like Lanto, and so it only gives us more confidence, once we get into, the next level. No, I mean, when my number's called, I'm coming. Like I said, I'll have to either Monday or top 10 for the next 2 weeks, and then after that, we'll see from there. So. It depends on what day of the week you ask me. I mean, some days I might tell you I'm still not ready to be out here, but I really think the U.S. Open was huge for me. It's one thing to say you can compete against the best in the world; it's another when you actually do it. So I think that was really huge for me. No, it was more just fun. Wanted to be there my whole life, and so I was finally there. And you'd either be nervous and think otherwise of it, or be excited and enjoy the experience. And I made sure I got to enjoy it. Thanks, bud. Thank you. See you, man.